we're kicking off this episode with a big thank you to our good friend, Robert. So thank you.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Thank you, Robert.
Hey, I don't know why I'm being thanked, but go ahead.
Actually, I think all the Cathys are going to thank you.
Yeah.
You have figured out a way to get rid of Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's gone for a few months.
We've been trying so hard.
You know, he's not, the most popular guy on the podcast.
He told me he's the funniest, though.
He would.
See, this is
He
the
would.
issue.
That's exactly the problem.
Oh, okay.
So you sent him a package last week. I saw it on his Instagram, and he was cooking a piece of meat. And he, jokingly said, I'm going to Texas after I ate this piece of meat. I'm like, what is it? And he's like, Robert sent me some Wagyu Angus beef. And I'm just like, what? Obviously, I'm a vegetarian. I don't know what Wagyu means. I don't know what Angus means. I don't know what any of this shit means. You obviously work with a lot of professional athletes and ended up stumbling on, what is this company?
Well, glad I could help you guys out with Taylor, though.
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
I was wondering when I came to the office, like people were shaking, we can't shake hands or hug.
But you got a big cheer.
I got a standing ovation from all 6 people.
Yeah, there's a parade coming in here.
Yeah, it was all 6 people. There was nobody in the parking lot and stuff. So I was like, holy shit. But yeah, so you know what? It's Hassel Cattle Company. It's a direct-to-consumer Wagyu beef, and I never knew really kind of what Wagyu was. It's kind of like
Wagyu is always the most expensive thing on any restaurant I go to.
100%. It's like saying you know what really an IPA is. You don't.
No.
You fucking don't know it at all. But like me, I know if I go to a steak place, I want Wagyu, right? So I kind of dug back a little into this company in managing, these NFL athletes. I try to put them with products that they actually enjoy, stuff that they want to actually have in their hands or, whatever. So I started doing some background on this company. And I figured out it's amazing. Wagyu is actually a part. It's a bowl. So how he does it is he creates the Wagyu bowl. It literally mixes it with an Angus cow to get the ultimate flavor.
So those two are having sex.
They kind of like each other, yes.
Okay, so the Wagyu bull is having sex with the Angus cow.
Love it.
That animal that comes out becomes what you guys are direct to consumer.
Yeah, they mix it together somehow.
Okay.
Like I said, I was talking to this guy and I'm all, so they really kind of like each other? He's all, well, they kind of, because he's from Texas. So you got to believe somebody knows something about meat when they're in Texas, right? Yes. And so we were talking about earlier, and we were talking about, you never really know. You're like, if you try something, you're like, oh, that's just a cupcake, right? It can't be any better until you try these famous, your bubble cupcakes. Yeah. And you're like, holy fuck, that's what a cupcake tastes like?
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with this Wagyu is, when I first I got some, I had to try it myself. And I was like, oh my goodness, how? Well, I actually tried the hamburger, right? And I thought to myself, I've always tasted a good hamburger. I've never been able to make it at home like that. And I was like, well, what seasoning are they putting on this? Well, it wasn't the seasoning, it's the meat.
Yeah.
So when I got this Wagyu hamburger, I was like, okay, it's just another hamburger. I put it in, I stuck it in my mouth, and wow.
It was that good.
It was that good. I mean,
can we get
out of 10?
Out of 10.
Out of 10.
It'd be an 11.
You're lying.
So tell me about your athletes. So they get fed the highest quality food in the locker rooms because teams want to keep them with all their protein and their calories right. What are they saying?
Yeah, so I sent it to a couple of guys that aren't small, linemen, and literally they're like, this is the best stuff we've ever tasted. And I'm like, come on, tell me the truth, because we're going to start doing deals with this, guys. I want to make sure that you guys are happy. And out of all the athletes I've sent it, I get texts. I mean, Kyle Huzak's a fullback, make fullbacks great again, right, Kyle? Yeah. But he literally texted me and said, I forgot to tell you, that shit was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just like, and the good thing about it is, like what you said, is when you go to a restaurant, you figure out if Wagyu is supposed to be the greatest thing ever. Well, theirs is cheaper. They call it the blue collar, or his is the blue collar Wagyu.
So how much is it? And the cool thing is direct to consumer. I saw how they're packaged in a cool box, dry ice, and delivered to your door.
Yeah.
So what's the starting kind of price point?
So you're looking at probably, for the steaks, you're looking at maybe $19 for like a pack. What he does is like basically $199, and you get steaks, hamburger, you get, a whole bunch of stuff. And you saw the packaging. I mean, we sent Taylor to freaking Texas.
So if you're having a summer barbecue, this is a no-brainer with price and quality.
No brainer. I mean, like I said, he calls it the blue collar Wagyu, so definitely a no brainer.
And you got us hooked up for a big group chat deal.
Big.
HassleCattleCompany.com.
Yep.
Spell that for him. HASSLE.
No,
E-L.
HASSELL.
Yep.
C as in cattle, company.com. HassleCattleCompany.com.
We'll post it and share it. And the code is group chat. You
Yep.
get 20% off. I mean, you could afford this, Pete.
It's just right in my fucking ballpark.
Hey, well, hold on. With your stimulus and all that, are you doing that? I mean, you can literally afford it.
I can afford it. It's okay.
I mean, because you can't go to Mastro's and get a Wagyu steak.
I mean, I could, but I'd go broke.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You do it once every 2 months.
This is great. This will last me a while. It's affordable.
No,
I might
yeah,
actually do
it's-
this.
And we know you're not social distancing. You have people over. You got to cook for some
I
folks.
mean, I can throw a great party with this.
It'd be a good Costa Brava, Wagyu beef collab.
Yeah.
But don't put it on your story or Taylor might come back.
Oh.
Yeah. That's amazing. Well, thank you for getting us. And it's 20% off.
Yep.
Use the code group chat.
One word, no space, group chat.
Yep. And HassleCattleCompany.com. Thank you for bringing this to us.
Of course.
I have a feeling this is going to work out really well. People obviously are barbecuing this summer.
Yep.
Most people aren't leaving the house yet. So if you're dying for some high quality beef.
I'm going to try this stuff out because you guys don't eat meat.
Yeah.
I eat meat.
Yeah, but it might make them eat meat.
Yeah.
That's
This
how
is
good
what's
it
gonna
is.
break
man.
it.
Yeah.
That's how good it is.
Decades of vegetarianism. The goddamn ad sponsor.
And then they're going to blame it on me.
Here you got a phone call from our mom.
And it'll be a FaceTime.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
And you can find you, if people want to reach out to you, at Instagram and Twitter, Ballin, Ballin. Unbelievable how you have that handle.
Seriously.
It should be like a rap meme account, but luckily you got
Hey,
it.
people have tried to buy it too, and I'm too like in my bubble. I'm like, fuck no, 200K. Are you sure? Yeah. I mean, if somebody offers 200K out there, it's yours.
You'll take it.
No, thanks, guys.
All right, let's get into it.
Hey guys.
Hello. Are you excited for some meat?
Yeah, I heard you. I mean, pause, I guess, but I heard you got some meat for me.
Yeah. I'm delivering meat for you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Yeah, Hassle Cattle Company. Here we go.
I'll tell you what, I know how to make two things, and that's scrambled eggs
Okay.
and steak.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. This is perfect for you.
They're very similar, actually.
Steak and eggs.
How do you make your steak? I heard a whole podcast on Joe Rogan about making steak.
It's not that. I have like a
Ketchup. Just like,
the extra well done Trump style is what they call it. Yeah, I just go pan on the oven and flip, cut down the center, make sure I'm not going to get mad cow, flip,
a little seasoning.
plate it
A
up.
lot of flipping.
Little salt, little pepper, little garlic, flip.
Ooh.
Some microwave white rice,
Boom.
flip, soy sauce on the rice, bam.
So soy sauce, rice, and steak.
Yep.
I
It's a
don't
bit of
think
an Asian fusion.
Yeah, that's like a Sizzler special.
Yeah. Listen, man, the Ohio taste buds never fully grew
granted,
up.
I don't eat meat, but I've been to steakhouses. I don't see soy sauce and rice.
No,
with the steak.
no, Asian fusion. It's big. It's more a Genki,
Genki
and then my next big step is to learn how to really cook some veggies. So asparagus.
It's pretty easy. Just chuck it on a pan.
literally
And
just put those on the
I know, but one time I got broccoli and I boiled it because that was like the instructions.
Okay.
But it went too hard and like all the leaves fell off. Like it looked like burnt little trees.
Yeah.
And I was like, I tried to eat it. It was terrible. So timing is my biggest problem.
yeah, you
know.
got to pay attention.
Yeah, my rice will be mushy. My steak will be burnt.
I mean, they got like devices that you just press
I know,
a button.
man, I
and
know.
boom.
It's
I know.
called timers
I'm still
on your
trying to use
phone.
Slack. You know what I mean?
Set the timer.
I'm new to all this technology.
Yeah.
Well, good news for you. Cooking is over. Everything's open.
Everything's open.
Yeah.
I went to the mall this weekend.
Wow.
Which
Yeah.
mall?
The Sherman Oaks Fashion Square.
Oh,
And was
wow.
it packed?
No, it was empty.
What made
time
you
of-
go to the mall?
Well, I was on this kick. We had nothing to do. And we were talking about cars. I wanted to see a Tesla. I've never went into one of those Tesla showrooms.
Sure. Yeah.
So like, they had to have one out here. And we were in and out. And there was one right down the street of the mall. And I'm like, I don't know, let's see if the mall's open. It was open. We haven't looked at Teslas.
And was there anyone else looking?
There were a few people. It was not like empty, but like I would say 50% of the stores were still closed. And look, malls are already dead. So it was probably like a third of the capacity of what a mall would normally be.
Yeah, malls are not,
Any mask enforcement? Nothing.
Yeah. All masks.
Okay.
Yep.
This is LA.
Okay.
That
Yeah, there's no
stuff's
way.
not gonna fly.
No,
here.
no. They take that real serious.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It literally felt like going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm so used to this like really low level of entertainment that like going to a mall felt thrilling
Yeah.
with no one in it.
I mean, I haven't walked inside. I mean, now that like Instacart has gotten all groceries back up, now that everything's stocked, I don't think I've walked in anywhere in so long.
It's
to
crazy.
get anything.
It feels crazy.
It is crazy.
It's
Like
like-
standing in line, doing anything. Like,
Yeah. And I think the bigger thing was on my drive to the mall, all the outdoor patios, I couldn't see inside, but all the outdoor patios, like it almost resembled an old normal weekend.
So were restaurants open at this mall?
I don't think Fashion Square has restaurants, but all the restaurants down Ventura Boulevard
Sure.
are all open.
yeah, and there was people.
People.
So I saw that looks like the city of LA, and I'm sure this is happening in every city. They're letting people put chairs outside, have sidewalk, patio type vibes. So on Sunset, there was a handful. On Third, there was a handful. Melrose, I was driving around town. I saw people. I had friends go to restaurants all over town. We had a good friend go to Avra in Beverly Hills, which is like a big Mediterranean restaurant. And he said it was slammed.
Really?
Yeah, slammed.
Inside?
Inside.
Yeah,
No
you're
bar.
allowed to open indoor
Yeah.
as long as you listen to the restrictions.
Yes.
And no one's enforcing it, so you're allowed to do whatever you want.
Well, here's the thing. I think I'll tell you where I think restaurants are not going to play games in a city like LA. You get one phone call, you're shut down. 100%.
So you're not following guidelines?
I guarantee you there are going to be people calling. If one customer does not feel safe.
Karen.
Karens are out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Karens have badges.
and
in there.
these restaurants, these high-end restaurants are not going to play games. My friend went. He said that he had temperature checked when he walked in
At Avra.
at Evra.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Is
Good
that
for
like
them.
a forehead scan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like mask at the host, and then once you get to your table, you do you wear.
And if you get up to go to the bathroom, you have to mask up.
From what I hear,
That's what I heard.
I haven't asked to anyone that's urinated, but
I urinated at a bar
I'll
this
tell you what,
weekend,
speaking
and
of
I had to go
urinating-
wear a mask.
You did?
Yeah.
What bar
At
did
a
you go
bar?
to?
but it was a restaurant that you thought. I mean, like they're masking as a restaurant, or are they masking
Where'd you
as a
go?
bar?
Where'd you go?
What? The Q's on the
Oh,
west
no,
side.
that's a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they serve food.
But you had to sit. What?
Right.
But you sat at a table.
Yes.
That's my point. So in their eyes,
But
they
I-
view themselves as a restaurant
They're
because
pretending.
you can't stand around a bar right now.
Right.
That's
Agreed.
not allowed.
Right.
So you couldn't go up to the bar and order a drink?
No.
I'll tell you what.
But
at
if you
the
went to the
mall-
bathroom, you had to put your mask on, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of urination, at the mall, every other urinal was blocked.
Is public public restrooms open? I was at the
very...
So I was at the beach this morning, which they finally opened up the parking lot near the beach. Not all of them, but one of the major ones in Santa Monica. There's a lot of cars parked, and I really had to go. And I was like, fuck.
But
And
I think if you're a restaurant and you're open and you're allowing people, you have to have your restrooms open. I think that's a law.
You could just masked into a restaurant. Did you go to a public beach bathroom?
No, I just held it for 2
Then we need to
hours.
retest you.
I know. I was
Yeah.
going to scoot over a few.
Yeah, I held it for 2 hours. I refused. I wouldn't go to a public restroom unless I have to, anyways.
Right.
And you add this on top of it.
No
it
chance.
Seems super sketch.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I think what people aren't understanding about the reopen is that everyone's excited to go out, and I do believe all the restaurants will be crowded. Anything that's open will be crowded. What they're not understanding, which is happening now in Arizona, in Texas, and in Florida, they've been now open a few weeks. Employees at these places are getting sick, and now the restaurants are shutting down. Because like in certain bars in Tampa and Texas and Scottsdale, these places
Huntington Beach too.
Huntington Beach, like a popular bar got shut down too because of that. So we're seeing the impact of opening up when you don't enforce these rules strict enough, is that the restaurant's going to end up ultimately getting shut down anyways.
Yeah.
Because without a quarantine. And this is the mask issue that continues to be an issue, is that if people are truly selfish and all they care about is themselves and their ability to go out to eat and have a good time, you would wear a mask. Only unselfish morons don't wear masks.
Yeah, but that's too like long of thinking.
No, because they're like, don't take away my rights. You saw that Orange County Council Assembly? It was a joke.
Yeah.
Wear a fucking mask.
Yeah, they think right now, not what it happens when.
But here's like the broader point is we're open.
Yep.
Doesn't seem like anyone's listening to any of the restrictions that are.
I disagree. I think in places like what we're seeing in LA, there are plexiglasses. There are people.
Sure, but we're talking about like a 4-mile radius.
That's where we live.
No, I know, but let's talk about Arizona, Texas, Florida. No one's listening to shit. No one's wearing masks. We've heard this from multiple people. No one's wearing anything. We're going to have a spike. There is no question about it. Hospitalizations are going to increase. Deaths are going to increase. These are facts. These is what data has shown.
They're okay with that, though.
So that's my question. Have we just gotten to a point where Americans are okay with a certain level of deaths, certain level of hospitalizations, and don't take my restaurants and bars away from me?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think unless it gets really, really bad.
Yep.
Like
Which I think can only happen. I honestly think that can only happen in places like Italy, New York. Like, I don't know that Texas can get as bad as New York was. I don't think it's possible. With
just the nature of this, the way that
just because of
urban
the
sprawl.
Sure.
You're back on the farm. You didn't even see grandma this week. You're fine.
Yeah.
But I think we're okay with it. I don't see us going back to where we were in April.
No, yeah, I don't see another. I don't see how a lockdown can happen nationally. Maybe in a city like LA, like it spikes through the roof.
And it's the only way we lock down is if hospitals get overcrowded.
And even then, I just think...
And I think that's going to happen regionally. Like, you're going to see certain cities, they just don't have enough hospitals. They're going to figure it out. Like, everyone's going to have their own playbook. I agree. The virus is going to spread. This is clearly a very transmissible virus.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think...
You just got to stay away from, like Louisiana, for instance. It was only because of Mardi Gras, as far as I know. You just can't do those.
Yeah.
And I think it'll just be like, that's how it should be, though. It should be at your own risk.
Yeah.
Like, look, if you're young and healthy and you want to roll the dice, go do it. Who cares? You'll probably be sick for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
If you live with old people, don't even take a chance. If you blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, I would argue that I know we put other people at risk, but I don't think the American culture will allow to be like told what to do like that.
I agree. I think a group of friends will go out, drinks, and 2 weeks later, one of them doesn't come, and maybe that person died.
Yeah, and guess what?
And they'll be like,
dude,
let's have a drink for Joe.
R.I.P. Joe.
R.I.P. Joe. Let's have a shot.
Joe.
That's literally
Let's take a shot.
how I think people think.
It's just fascinating to see how different cultures, because I agree with you, Drama, that this is how Americans think.
Yeah.
Asian countries think very differently. Australia thinks very differently. There's still these 14-day quarantines when you enter in. U.S., you can fly in. You're fine.
Yeah.
You walk right out.
Yeah.
And
that's wild. But sorry, keep going.
But the point is, like, who's right?
True. Yeah, I don't know. I think history will tell us that.
So you won't know, because this is an experiment.
Because if, let's say, everything goes back to normal and a bunch of people just get really sick, and 5 years from now we look at how many people died in 2019 versus 2020. If that absolute number is not that much bigger, the historians will say,
the historians will say it's stupid we shut down for 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Which that probably isn't true. Like, I would argue that I'm glad we did that.
Yeah.
That probably saved us a lot of time and whatever, and killed the momentum of this thing. But that's how it'll be looked at if that's what happens. Or this thing just runs wild and there's 1 million deaths come November.
I just don't like, we still hear it. I hear it everywhere that all we've done is hid from the virus for 90 days. And I agree. Go out at your own risk.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's like, you need to make that decision.
Yeah.
But the only thing that's going to change is if hospitals just don't have capacity, then the government steps in. That's literally the only thing.
Yeah.
It's hospitals and government. That's it.
And it'll only
true.
matter if people, like, let's say hospitals do get overwhelmed, but the anger really isn't there from the people because we're like, we all wanted this anyways, then, you know, I don't think anything's going to happen. Because you guys wanted it. You wanted to be open. You chose to go to the beachside bar and get drunk and get coronavirus. Like, you chose. That is your decision.
I also think there was this perfect storm of like, it came here, a couple hospitals got overran, the media jumped on it, everyone was scared shitless. Tom Hanks has it, no sport. Like, I don't think you could even recreate that, like, that snowball of fear.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think even if you're like, hey guys, like, New York City hospitals are overran again, we're gonna have to put some things into lockdown, like, probably the overall sentiment would be people pissed.
Yeah.
You know, like, fix your fucking hospitals then, because
Yeah.
I feel fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree.
That's the demand, right, from the citizens?
Yeah.
Open more hospitals.
Yeah,
That's
dummies.
not my problem.
I'm trying to go to brunch.
Yeah, I agree.
There was that video in New York City where everyone was like partying at that one street where the bars, and then Andrew Cuomo retweeted it and said, "Don't make me come there."
St. Mark's
I didn't
Place.
see that. That was this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In
Same-
New
same-
York?
same-
New York just got fucked. See, they don't give a shit.
That's
if
what-
New York saw fucking makeshift morgues on the side of their hospitals and New York turned into a ghost town and they don't care, we don't care.
Yeah, they're leading the pack on this. If they don't
Yeah.
care,
They saw it.
It's just a great experiment in American psychology.
Yeah.
You can't stop.
You can't stop us.
You can't stop, man.
We're
gonna
unstoppable.
consume
We're the
and
greatest.
Yeah.
USA. All the way.
We're consuming,
Like, if
man.
you
no matter
ask a
what.
25-year-old, like, you have 20 friends, one's gonna 100% die,
Yeah.
and
Fuck
you
'em.
have to stop.
Oh, that's fuck 'em for
Yeah.
sure. It's like,
It's not going to
look,
be
man,
me, so who cares?
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah,
I'm already negative.
That guy says he's a little overweight.
like,
He's always breathing heavy. That guy's not going to
We
make it.
told him to come running.
It's probably best anyways.
He was holding us back.
That's actually I mean, fault us, but that's how we think and everything else. We're okay with school shootings. We're okay with mass.
But think about it.
yeah.
We're
We're
okay
okay
with
with all
vaping
the-
our fucking tits off
Yeah.
while we eat Big Macs, and you know what I mean. It's just
Yeah.
a slower death.
Yeah.
But you see, the rates of whatever. Obviously, don't need to get into this, but the rates of people dying from eating unhealthy and just being unhealthy for
It's
themselves
way higher
is
than
way
Corona.
higher. It makes Corona look like nothing.
Yeah,
So I think Pete's point is just accelerate the week.
Fuck it.
Let's just
Kyle
get
was probably
going
going to
here, huh?
die at like 55 anyway.
28's
Get
fine.
it over with.
ain't my problem. I don't have to cover the
Literally,
bills.
it's survival of the fittest, like in the bar scene.
yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens, man. To your point, it's an experiment.
Yeah.
We'll know in probably 3 years or something.
No, it's crazy.
Eat your veggies, guys.
Eat your fucking veggies, man. Just try to go for a run. Just vitamin D. I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
something.
Okay. Dave Chappelle.
Yep.
Did you guys watch?
I
Yeah,
did.
of course.
Okay, so Dave Chappelle out of nowhere on Friday releases 8:46, which is the amount of time that the police officer was on George Floyd's neck, as well as the time of birth for Dave Chappelle. Really interesting. I didn't know what to expect whatsoever. I was so excited. I waited till the end of the day, had it ready to go. It looks like, well, he did. I think it's his neighbor or someone in Ohio's backyard. They have a wedding venue.
Yeah.
He set it up, social distancing, 222, whatever, and did like a speech. It wasn't even like a stand-up.
No.
Like, sure, there was a couple moments of like laughing, but it was like here's Dave Chappelle, 20 minutes, thoughts on
Yeah.
everything going on. Pretty interesting.
It was really interesting, and I think people have been asking about celebrities and where are they in this fight, and he kind of addressed it, saying like, this is about the streets and the people. This isn't about celebrities. Like, who wants to hear from a celebrity? Which I think we can all agree. And I think celebrities have realized, instead of hijacking what's happening in the streets, you just have to support it. Mm-hmm. And he went out there, and I thought he did a great job of just kind of saying what he wanted to say, share. He knows he has like mass attention, right? Like there are certain people when they talk reach a much larger audience, and he reaches white America.
Yeah.
Like Dave Chappelle definitely reaches white America. So I think like him speaking in the way he did it in a barn in Ohio, and then sharing a personal story about when he got stopped by the police, how he got let go, and the next day that person came and murdered somebody. So it's just, he made the story very personal. He obviously was very angry about the situation. It was really raw. I kept looking at his notebook because he probably didn't know. Yeah, he hadn't fine-tuned it.
That's what I love about the internet. That's one of the great things about social media and the internet is that someone like Dave Chappelle, who is such a genius at like touching on what's going on in the world, can even do that. Like you can go in the backyard and it can be on YouTube and have millions of views.
And it's amazing that he's a stand-up comedian, but he actually spoke to the issues better than I think anyone.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Any commentator, any analyst.
Yeah.
He conceptualized everything that's going on, captured the spirit of the movement, talked about I'm okay with being in the back seat while the youth is driving the car. And he's just a fucking genius.
Yeah, I think when he dies one day, hopefully a long time from now, he's going to be looked at as like
Folk hero.
just like never before, nothing even similar.
Yeah.
Like people talk like that about Eddie Murphy and stuff like that, but he's in a totally different realm. And I think we know that we've went to his shows where he's like spitballing and trying to work out material, and it gets very that.
Yeah.
And then his specials and stuff are pretty much weeded out and it's comedy.
Yeah.
But that you got that version of it. And I think when he starts being known for that also, it's going to be, I just think he's a real,
And his
he's
grasp
how I
of
look at Elon
history,
Musk.
it's insane.
Yeah.
He knows it at a granular level.
Well, I think
he
he's just
talks about these events at a level of detail that you don't see anyone else.
To be fair, he's well read.
No, that's my point.
Most people are not.
Correct,
Most people
yeah.
just.
But that's the interesting thing. I don't think the first thing you would jump to with Dave Chappelle, especially if, like, let's just say you started by watching the Chappelle show, is that he's well read.
Yeah.
And he really is really articulate. And you know what else gets me is like, the message doesn't get lost in the anger.
Yeah.
So you can tell he's angry, you can tell he's frustrated, but he still makes clear points.
Yeah.
It's not just fuck you, this has to change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that to me, like, he's just an incredible storyteller. And the way Dave Chappelle delivers that 27 minutes on YouTube is the way I think a lot of people can learn how to get a point across. Because everything from Christopher Dorn, was that his name?
Dorner, yeah.
Dorner, the police.
I forgot about that too.
Yeah, like, just talking about all of the different points of history, his personal experiences, tying it all in together. He is like, I don't know, just like one of those historic storytellers. Like just the way he knows how to wrap it all up and put a bow on it and say, this is what's happening. It's phenomenal.
And I think the most underrated thing about his stand-up is the way he uses the joint or the cigarette, whatever he's smoking, as a prop to let you think.
Yeah.
He takes the puff after the impactful thought, and you're literally sitting there like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like,
He had a hard time with that lighter, though. The lighter, I don't know if that was intentional.
That'd be part of the thing.
I was like, man, you're really struggling.
But he breaks it up with the microphone on the leg. He does that in all his stand-ups. Like, he breaks it up in such a perfect way. It's just so brilliant. He makes you think.
Yeah. Yeah, he's one of a kind. But it's cool. It's just cool that it's cool that in this modern day and age, you don't have to wait. Normally you'd have to wait 6 months to hear what Dave Chappelle thinks about this. And instead you can just go in the backyard and it's on YouTube. I'm sure that thing has who knows how many views.
At least people wearing masks.
Yeah.
They look very safe.
You know why? Because that was a Netflix production. And Netflix ain't playing games.
And it came out on YouTube first. So it's a YouTube Netflix.
Well, no, I think Netflix just wanted everyone to have access to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on Netflix's YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I bet you they tested everyone.
Yeah.
Because they can't take that risk.
Yeah.
Also, did you see, side note of just content, this isn't in our notes, but Tekashi 6ix9ine released another video.
No.
It claims to have 50 million views in 24 hours on YouTube. Nicki Minaj is on it, which is controversial because whatever. And then also, the main person that's been going back and forth with Tekashi is Meek Mill, whatever. at the same time, he then went on an Instagram Live rampage and just hated on everyone, hated on Future, hated on Meek, and he's just calling everyone a snitch. I don't know what's going to happen.
He's calling other people a snitch?
Yeah, he's saying, he literally, this is what he did. He went on a full thing on his Instagram Live, picked out, gosh, I forget her name, something Perez or whatever. She's a Rock Nation exec.
Okay.
And apparently, it's in the news, it's public information, that she wore a wire against Colombian drug traffickers a long time ago. Now she's an exec at Rock Nation. And so he showed all these photos of Meek Mill like walking out of court with her and here with her. And he's like, so you're with a rat here, but I'm a rat, and blah, blah, blah. And then Future, because Future said something that didn't even have anything to do with him. And he's like, you hang out with rats, blah, blah, blah.
He's a Candace Owen the rap.
He might be the Candace Owens around. Yeah. He's out of his fucking mind. He's literally losing it, melting down.
And he's like 21 or something?
Yeah.
If that.
So anyway, so that's just what else is going on
Got
there.
a long life ahead of him.
Well, maybe not. And then the last thing too is we have a Kathy that's like joining the fighting the good fight. For the police brutality. What's happening?
So there's I got DM'd this website, arcgis.com.
Okay.
And this woman, Cheyenne is her name, has pretty much documented every police killing in the country. And it literally gets like, you can click on your neighborhood or anything that's happened, and it'll tell you the victim's name, their age, their gender, their race, their what happened, where it happened, and if, any criminal charges or, what happened in the case. It's pretty granular in like the data they've pulled. And I think there's a lot of people that are taking time out of their personal time to build up these sites, build up information, because things like this are going to be very, very important come election time to share this information. So she's done a great job, arcgis.com. I just wanted to share it because I think it could be a helpful resource for people that want to understand what's going on in their neighborhood.
Yeah, you know what's really crazy that I learned this weekend is there's a lot of facts or numbers out there, but depending on where you go to find them, it's how they get skewed. Yeah. So like there's obviously a whole group that says the amount of police killings, killing black people, the number is lower than killing white people, but if you even it out per capita, it's obviously way higher.
Yeah.
Then if you go to the other side, that's not the case. Yeah. Because here's how the numbers play out. Like I just wish that there was one person or source that wasn't so partisan, like giving just here's the information. This is a problem, and here's where it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's tough. That's the
I
problem.
think that's what DeRay McKesson has done with Campaign Zero. So he says that he's the only database that has tracked police murders because, for example, he said if someone gets choked out and dies, that does not show up in the database of a police death. And they went and gathered the non-weapon deaths versus just,
see, there's all that shit that you would never know. And it's also like how many times did police come in contact with black people versus white people? I bet that number's all fucked up.
Yeah.
And also, if you just punch a guy in handcuffs, that's nowhere on any record.
Yeah. The problem is that anyone who would back the research effort for something like this is partisan.
I know.
That's
so
the problem.
Fucked up.
There's no independent person that says, I just want to know the landscape of what's going on in the police system in America.
It's a shame that there's no one with a voice that is fighting that fight.
Yeah.
Like, look, what's good for... I guess that's what a president maybe is supposed to do. Yeah. But like at the end of all this, I get it. You fight your fight, we'll fight yours. Here's the facts.
Yeah.
Does D-Ray have a website?
Yeah, Campaign Zero, 8 Can't Wait, all this. He's honestly the most impressive person I've seen in the last 2 weeks.
And sorry, I didn't mean to sound ignorant. Yeah. I know he has a website, but there's Campaign Zero is where all that lives.
Yes, Campaign Zero. And he's getting sued by police departments. He has a case at the Louisiana Supreme Court, at the state Supreme Court, going after him because he's exposing data that they didn't want exposed.
It is fucking wild. It's wild. Look, you can even take the racism out of it. The way police work in America is fucking crazy.
Yeah, there's nothing kosher about the police operations.
No.
It's out of control because the amount of things that are hidden from the public, Like even in the George Floyd case from 2003 or something, the prosecutor is now saying the arresting officer who caught him with $10 worth of crack lied about a lot of his arrest, and it's probably not true. So that's insane. That's insane. Do you know how many people are just going to jail? When you start uncovering how many specifically black people have been arrested for the most ridiculous petty crimes and sentenced for 10 years, 15 years,
ridiculous.
20 years.
Yeah.
And then they come out into the system, they're a felon. How can a felon get a job? No. This is what systemic racism is that people need to understand. It's like, we're never going to break this if we don't, like, the police power over the people affects our entire society.
Yeah.
And the judges that are giving the sentences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been in lawsuits. I've been on a witness stand. The judge was asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe.
During a court case that we had, a civil corporate lawsuit, the judge was asleep while I was talking.
And maybe that's why we lost.
Did somebody wake him up?
How am I going to tell him?
Like, was there like an awkward moment?
He probably
No.
just probably
just,
farted and woke up.
He's like dozing on and off.
He literally, I'd be looking, I literally looked at our team. I was like, we're going to lose. This guy's asleep. Literally asleep.
And you lost.
And sure, ours was monetary. We can go on, but a sleepy judge can put a kid in jail.
And there's a study.
Life.
Yeah. And we're not even talking, we talked a little bit about this off the air, and hopefully we get to learn more about it. But all the cases of like planting weapons and planting, here's a little baggie of Coke, and look what I found.
Yeah.
Jail for you for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like all of that, you can never track that.
Michael Lewis has done research on this, that judges before lunch and after lunch have harsher sentencing because they're hungry right before lunch and they're full after lunch, and they're more amicable.
That's a fact. There's a study about whether, when it comes to people being put up for bail or not, should you be given bail or not? And essentially what you're trying to do is measure, will this person commit a crime while they're on bail or not? And you're trying to judge someone's character in, 2 minutes. And they put human judges up against computers, and the computers just smoked human judges, because human judges guess of, let me see your previous record, and do you seem like you got it all figured out? And it's just like, it's so backwards.
Yeah.
Like you're just bad at it. And it is like, I didn't eat.
What did they beat the judges at? Like,
so essentially they came up with some sort of algorithm that judged whether, okay, this is how you're approved for bail or you're not based on these things.
Okay.
And then they ran the people through that, and then they compared it to a human judge deciding. And then the trick was, did they commit any crime in the in-between time?
Yeah.
And the computer was way more accurate than the judge. The judge it's just a fucking dart throw.
I honestly think we're all focused on police right now, but the judges matter just as much, because once the police get the person under control, the judge decides what happens.
The judge is protecting.
Yeah, sure. We just, right now, we got to stop the basic.
Yeah, we got to stop these sleepy judges probably putting kids away that don't.
No, but the basic thing is when a black person gets stopped.
I agree. My point is, I think it's the problem's so much deeper.
Yeah.
We're literally just at the front lines.
Yeah.
And it's like literally storming the beach at Normandy.
Yeah.
And we need to get there first. Yeah. But the problem's way worse.
Yeah.
That's why look, I think with this level of unrest, something has to change, but like what we're talking about changing is so broken and so deep and involves so many people in the way that they've always done things. It's really fucking hard to change. Like you might as well be saying we need to change the way elections work.
You may have to change the Constitution.
Yeah.
That is the harsh reality. A friend of mine made a comment the other day. He's like, they're tearing down all these statues all over the country of people, Confederate war heroes. And he was like, if you really look at our currency with George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Andrew Jackson, they were all slave owners. He goes, what do you think we should do there? And I'm like, if you ask me, if you're going to take down the show Cops, okay, off TV, and now Gone with the Wind, and now they're saying Dukes of Hazzard, and I think you got to take down everything, change everything. Let's go do a real clean break of all the things. It's going to take 20 years to do it, probably to go through everything. But the problem is, we're only sharing one side of history. We're not sharing the whole history.
Yeah.
We're not even thinking about all the other consequences. Like no one's thinking about judges right now because we're trying to stop the basic things, right? So we have.
But that's so the judge's problem is the way I talk about private equity.
Yeah.
It's like the way AOC, they understand inequality exists, but here's the actual way you solve things.
Okay, but judges are like, how do you even remove a judge?
I mean, hold them accountable.
And then,
it's so arbitrary. You watch a sentencing. Oh, this is what the guidance of what prison sentence this person has. They're not looking into it. They're just like, 10 to 15, sure.
Yeah.
12 years.
I agree.
But there's no one in place to even correct that. But what's the consequence
for judges? They aren't. How do you get rid of a judge?
That's my point. It's so much deeper, and that's why I struggle with actually solving a lot of this.
Yeah.
Like, I know what the problem is in the financial world.
Yeah.
We have all these loopholes for people to prey on businesses, make money, and with zero consequence. It's completely legal.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same thing that's going on in our justice system.
But in the financial world, that'll never change. It'll always exist in some way.
That's what makes me kind of pessimistic.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that you should. My opinion is you shouldn't go tear down. Look, I do think that there's a difference. This might be controversial. I think there's a difference between someone owning slaves in a time when that's what everyone did and needing to like erase them from history, and someone who fought to keep slavery when we were trying to do the right thing. Yeah. And now, and even no matter what happened, this idea won. So to say that you wish it was the other way, you're essentially speaking for the enemy now who lost.
Yeah.
And I think that it's part of being more American to accept this is the new America. Why are we still memorializing people who were against what America is now?
Yeah.
And my point is just take one of those guys off and add Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
Or just take one of those guys off and add MLK.
Well, even Harriet Tubman, she was added to a currency. They're going to say it got delayed.
Of course.
10 years, 20 years, whatever it is. It got delayed for you know how easy we print things all day. Yeah. I don't know how hard it is to print money. You put a logo and you
Trump
start
was
printing.
able to sign every stimulus check, right?
Yeah, that was the hold up. So we can get his signature. But that's what I'm saying. Just progress would add so much. Like if you took down all Confederate statues, ban Confederate flags, and release the goddamn Harriet Tubman bill, it would be like, whoa, America's making moves.
Yeah.
Just make moves.
At least make superficial moves.
At least.
People will be at rest. Right now, as we speak, there's like 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people walking from Hollywood and Highland in LA to West Hollywood for the Pride Parade. Mm-hmm. This is not going to stop. Every weekend is going to be a fucking protest until we see some real progress.
I mean, they just burnt down Atlanta.
Yeah.
Wendy's and buildings because there was another one of these killings.
Yeah.
What happened? Rayshard?
Yeah.
Rayshard.
Yeah.
Sorry. Rayshard Brooks. Another one of these issues was pulled over, killed, body cam footage. He's fired. Guy steps down, riots in
so
Atlanta.
He gets stopped for a DUI check, and he's talking politely to the officer. The officer's kind of talking politely to him. He says he has 2 beers. It goes on for like 30, 40 minutes, and then I don't know exactly what happened. There was like the camera fell for a little, and I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but they're saying that he grabbed their taser and it became a struggle, and then he was running away, and then boom, killed him. Do you know how many kids get pulled over for suspected DUI in this city? I mean, I've been pulled over, right? And it is they do the breathalyzer. If they think you're drinking, you go and do, you walk the line or whatever they ask you to do, right? Yeah. Follow my eyes or whatever it is. Why does it have to end in a death? It's just like insanity. In Atlanta, during the heat of this, there are so many instances that have just happened. There was another incident in Palmdale, which is really sketch. This young man is found hung from a tree.
And in Victorville, which is like fairly close.
And they're saying it's a suicide. That the police says there's no foul play, it's a suicide. I find it hard to believe, even if this gentleman was trying to commit suicide, he would go out in that fashion given the time of...
And in Victorville.
Yes.
So within like 70 miles of each other, there was 2 different black people hung on a tree. And they both were called suicides.
Yes.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's just not. I don't know.
And those police departments, forgive me, but they're fucking
I've been to
clowns.
Victorville and Palmdale. I wouldn't trust the cops there.
Hell
Yeah.
no. You know how much easier it is to say, "Looks like suicide to me," right?
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
I just don't get. This is what blows my mind, and I get it because I also don't understand how you can be using police brutality at protests about police brutality, but like all the videos we saw, but like how right now in Atlanta, after everything that just happened for the last week and a half, is any black person running away from you and you're shooting them in the back? Like why
Why would you shoot them?
I'm just saying
they're running away.
I'm just saying why ever
Run faster, tackle them.
yeah, like work out, dude.
Yeah.
But the point is, like now it's the same thing that I feel about Derek Chauvin having his hands in his pockets. It's like after all this, you're not going to be like, I'm gonna let him go.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna just shoot a guy running away from you right now?
Yeah.
That means you are so lost to the point.
So lost.
It's wild.
If let's say that young man got away, I don't think a suspected DUI person with 2 beers running away is the end of the world.
And I mean,
who gives a
he's
shit?
a DUI person whose car you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's gonna. You know who he
You're
is.
gonna get him.
Yes.
It's totally fine. Let me just say this. I grew up skateboarding every day, blah, blah, blah. Even when I moved to LA, one of the things that you do, which this seems insane now, but one of the things you do as a skateboarder is blah, blah, blah. The cops show up, you run. You always run.
Yeah.
I've ran from cops 60 times in my life.
Yeah.
Never been shot at.
Yeah.
You just get away most of the time.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you got away. People get away from the cops all the time.
Yeah.
You have the guy's car. You probably ran his license. Whatever, you have
For
his
sure.
license plate. Let him fucking run, dude.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. It's just like, and after this is front of mind, it's never going to get more front of mind than it is right now.
Yep.
And you think the right thing to do is to shoot him dead.
It's insane.
You want to know who else is messing up?
As Drama puts away his Starbucks.
Starbucks. So, of course, I mean, shocker. Starbucks releases, this thing came out last week that none of their employees can wear Black Lives Matter stuff. Of course, complete outrage, rightfully so. Mm-hmm. And of course, they take it back. My bad. And you said you drove past the Starbucks today and saw fists in the window.
Yes,
and real prideful.
So I live a block from a brand new Starbucks that just opened. And the Pride Parade is going right in front of my house. So I ran over here because of traffic. I ran by the Starbucks. I go look. I was curious to see if there's people. There's people. But more importantly, there's this massive poster of black fists, rainbow-colored fists. They obviously know they're a moron. They should fire the person who ever instituted that ban on Black Lives Matter apparel. And they're now making 250,000 specialty T-shirts of its own. I mean,
I'm mind blown. I thought for sure we were going to find out on Saturday that we read that wrong.
Yeah.
And that wasn't true.
No. And it just, we're seeing a lot of corporate fallout all across the board. Let me tell you, if you're at a company, your best case, and if you know that your company has done this, get ahead of it, admit your fault, institute change. Your company will be.
Don't try to make change that's stupid.
Yeah.
Like banning something.
Well, that is obvious.
So top of mind.
Yeah, I mean, that's just,
shut up and listen.
Yeah.
Just shut up, dude.
Yeah.
And how? Once again, it's obviously much less serious, but reminds me of the thing in Atlanta. Is like, how do you not just see what's going on? And you see all these businesses getting called out. And strictly as a business person, no matter where your personal opinion lies, how would you ever think that that's a good idea for business?
Yeah.
Like, who are you catering to?
Nobody.
Only Trump fans? That's it? Trump supporters?
And anyone?
The NASCAR banned Confederate flags, and you want to be on the other side?
Yeah.
Fucking
Maybe
idiot.
Starbucks has done their demographics and they're like, you know what? We thrive better in the Midwest than the 7,000 locations we have in Manhattan.
Yeah.
In Manhattan.
LA. Like, you know how many liberals have to have their latte?
Yeah, and it's expensive shit.
Yeah, I don't think these Trump supporters are leaving their
They're
homes to go
going
get a
to
$5
Dunkin' Donuts
latte.
for that 99-cent coffee.
Yeah, it's just, I can't believe how stupid it is.
Yeah, I mean,
It's the same way, though, that they fucking kicked out the black guys for lingering around in their store. And then, our bad, now we're a public homeless person bathroom.
Yeah.
That's what Starbucks is now.
yeah.
Like, who's making decisions over there? Howard stepped down a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did, but he definitely has influence. Good thing he didn't run for presidency.
Good thing.
I mean, yeah, if his company was doing this while he's in a presidential run, they're like, and I don't get it. They just must be hopped up on a lot of coffee.
Too much coffee, man. Making too many decisions too quick.
You know what? Ban the sheesh.
Let him in. A bathroom. Anything.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Anyone.
Can I have another latte?
Okay. And then next up, we have to touch on defund the police. I feel like defund the police has now, since we talked about it last, become the biggest marketing mishap of this new movement.
Yeah. It feels like the Starbucks guy jumped on the woke side.
Like he started working for Black Lives Matter. Like, you know what? Never mind. Sorry about that. And I got a great idea.
Yeah.
Because I've now listened to like Charlemagne and like different things. Nobody thinks it's good.
Yeah.
And the big problem is the messaging. And so now Trayvon Martin's mother has said she disagrees with the defund the police message.
Yep.
She feels, so I think there's two different messages that are make sense to the response. Either number one, it's, hey, don't defund the police, like bad message. Maybe, yes, I get it, like take some budget away and allocate it to places more in need. The other message is add more money to the police and train them better and get higher quality people, pay them more.
Yeah.
That's what Trayvon Martin's mom is saying.
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion on, both could work. I'm not sure. I don't know the data.
Yeah.
But defund the police was a terrible idea.
Terrible slogan. And I don't think people who are just tweeting it and Instagramming it understand what the actual message is.
I also think it's died down a lot in the last 3 days. I have not seen it even on the streets as much. Even defund the police on social media, signs on the streets, it seems like it has clearly slowed down.
I hope so.
To me, it literally seems like something that Republicans would make to build their audience.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go tell these idiots. Let's go scare everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best way to reelect Donald Trump is to run with the defund the police slogan.
Yeah, let people be scared. What's Donald Trump saying? He's the law and order president.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you feel a little iffy about maybe your police department's going to go away? Now you're a secret Trump voter.
Well, speaking of that, in Seattle, there's been an enormous amount of protest in the Capitol Hill area.
They have their own city?
They are going, it's really funny. So they're calling it Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. Okay?
Yeah.
Also known as Chaz.
That pisses me off.
Okay, Chaz is not, it's kind of like over at the NFL how they have Ben. It's
Chaz. Literally, it's just, you can't, it feels like the city that all of the, live in. The fucking Debbies. What do we call them?
Karens.
It seems like all the Karens come from Chaz.
Yeah. So Chaz is this area where they're becoming anti-police, and they said, we're going to take care of our own area, police our own neighborhood. So this 6-block area with no police for the last, week has had no police presence. So this, unfortunately, has scared a lot of people because from a media standpoint, media is saying this is anarchy, this is Antifa, this is, and the problem is the one of the woman local politicians is an Indian woman who's a socialist, and she's like a very, very well-known socialist. So what the media is making it, or Republicans are making it seem like this is the beginning of socialism. These people are going to infiltrate all our cities, and this is what life is going to be like. It's insane.
I mean, Democrats literally do the campaigning for the Republicans themselves.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
Like, get the fuck out of Chaz. Don't call it Chaz.
Yeah.
Fucking stop, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you really think this is the new... Like, I get it, man. It's a cool experiment for a day.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this. We took over the police department. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Go home.
Yeah. Go back. Go have your Starbucks latte.
Wait till one guy gets fucking murdered in Chaz.
Chaz.
And see who you call.
Yeah, because you know what? One day someone from Chaz is not going to be happy, and they're going to murder someone.
Yeah, wait till there's a corona outbreak in Chaz.
Yeah.
What are you guys going to do? You're going to ventilate each other? Oh, I just shoved a tube down Chad's neck here, and I've just been pumping him up. Autonomous zone. Gosh. Okay. Well, good luck. Hopefully, listen, I want Chaz to shut down.
Yeah, Chaz is scary.
I don't think it's good for the cause.
There's a video going viral today. I don't know why it's going viral today, but it's from an Obama summit, and it's him on stage talking about woke culture. And just like
Yeah, I've seen that.
you tweeting a hashtag and then going back to your Netflix show isn't activism.
Well, to be fair, the Chaz people are doing more than that. They're on the streets.
Yeah.
Because they've literally occupied.
So that's activism.
So
they
these are not
fucked it up too,
hashtaggers.
though. Yeah, they did the most.
These are.
No, but he was talking about on college campuses, and he was talking about, I'm sure, stories he's heard from his daughters, and he's just like, what you guys are doing, like pretending you're being so impactful, isn't actually activism.
But to be fair, it's young people that are out on the streets right now.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just saying it was
Pre all
refreshing to see someone on the right side trying to motivate people the right way.
Yeah.
Because too often we're just hearing Chaz.
Chaz, man.
Well, no, the Chaz is real. The Chaz is the most activist. They're the scary people. There's worse than hashtags. I'd rather have the hashtag. Chaz people are, there's a conversation cafe in Capitol Hill, and it says, come in to discuss about anti-fascism. Yeah. That is what is going to re-elect.
It's all so lame.
Yeah.
Here's our autonomous zone. Fucking conversation cafe. Like, why does it have to be so stupid?
Because it's Seattle.
It's like either I would rather you just watch Netflix and hashtag.
Yeah.
Why you gotta do one or the other? Like, can't you just do the middle? Yeah. Okay. What's up with JJ Watt? JJ Watt's talking about the flag, the kneeling for the national anthem. He didn't just Drew Brees himself, did he?
No. So what he did was his coach of the Houston Texans, Bill O'Brien, said he's absolutely going to kneel for the anthem. And then some fan said, I know JJ Watt isn't. And then JJ Watt responded saying, A, don't speak for me. B, if you still think kneeling is about the military, you've missed the entire point of all of this.
There we go, JJ.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I think part of that, maybe not especially with JJ or specifically, but I think a lot of that turning of opinion will come from what happened with Drew Brees.
Yep.
I think a lot of other players that went on the side of respect the flag will be like, I wonder what Drew did. And maybe they go have conversations. And I don't know. I think that like every team, every game will protest, will kneel.
So Baker Mayfield told a fan on his Instagram that he's absolutely going to kneel, got terrible backlash from a lot of like people in Ohio. And he stood up and said, you guys are missing the point too. So when you have Baker Mayfield and JJ Watt, that's big.
Get on board, man. What are you still fighting for? Fucking racist. That's what like what do you really, the thing that blew my mind over the weekend is like, what are you fighting for? You're fighting for hopefully a future where slavery's back? There's full segregation. Black people are back to being 2/3 of a human. Like, what are you really fighting for?
3/5.
3/5. And you think that there's any chance that that's gonna happen? That's your life mission?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy you
Fucking
said
chill out.
2/3 and 3/5 is actually less?
I know. That's what I thought as I made that mistake. Yeah. It's ridiculous. But like, that's the future you're fighting for. Why don't you just fucking relax, enjoy NASCAR and the NFL, and fucking go make some black friends?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, what? No, my Robert E. Lee statue stays up.
Yeah. You don't even know anything about Robert E. Lee. You didn't study history. You don't.
No, they know nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. They just think that it's because they love the South and pickup trucks. Yeah. That's what it represents.
Yeah.
People don't even, I saw multiple interviews where they were interviewing people and they're like, what does the Confederate flag stand for? Because like, it's not just slavery. And they're like, what else?
Okay, tell us.
me what else. And like, well,
yeah,
it's not just slavery.
I'm going to get back in my truck, good old American truck, and then it's like a Toyota.
Yeah.
Which, for those that don't know, is not an American company.
Are we just that spoiled of growing up in diversity that these things don't even cross our mind?
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
It's just insane to me, this mentality.
Yep.
It's the same way, like, post 9/11, the way people would talk about Muslim people. I was like, dude, I have so many Muslim friends. They're not fucking terrorists.
Yeah.
And I feel bad I don't, but I do feel bad for those people because it's really just like, yo, life's not that scary, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there's not like a troop of Muslim terrorists conspiring at all times to blow, like all people that are Muslim, all black people aren't just conspiring how to commit crime, but you really believe that.
Yeah, they literally believe that.
Because you just don't leave your fucking garage.
If you don't believe that, watch Keeping Up with the Karens, and you will be proven. I mean, that is, I was talking to Tim earlier about this. He's like, man, that is the most infuriating Instagram page.
Amanda's gone down a rabbit hole. Apparently, there's 4 accounts that are talking about the Karens. She's seen every single
Karen's
video.
Gone Wild is good too.
And she said she's like dying to catch a Karen. That's like her mission.
Oh, she'll catch one.
Oh, it won't be hard.
Parents are going to be one of the first ones out.
I got
She wants
crazy.
to film it, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
She wants to be like the one antagonizing.
It's like fishing. It's like, yo, I'm going to go Karen hunting today.
Karen hunting.
Just go to like where they might be.
Yeah, I mean, I was running down the street here, and this lady sees me stop, a Karen, and she just runs the stop sign and makes a left, and like almost hits me. So I bang on her car, and I
Oh, wow. You did it all.
Wow.
and
car
I yelled
bang.
a profanity, and
Wow, you're.
Can you repeat it?
I called her a stupid bitch.
Nice.
Oh, you didn't say white.
No.
Then you become part of the problem.
Yeah.
You
Indian
bring the
Karen.
race thing
Yeah.
down.
And she could have been racially ambiguous.
Okay, got it.
But it's just, it's insane to me. So I have this theory on Karens.
Okay.
I have a feeling why we're seeing like, so you're not seeing white males video. Like there's no like, there are white males that are acting up, but for whatever reason, there's more white women we're seeing videos of. I'm sure there's plenty of video cameras on white men too.
Yep.
I think white males know where they stand in the hierarchy of life, which is at the top.
Yep.
So they're like, even when they're thinking
Oh,
of
you're saying it's an insecurity thing.
insecurity
Got
thing.
it, okay.
So Karens are almost at the top,
Yeah.
but they still are inferior to their counterpart, the white male.
Yeah.
And so they
That's where their anger derives from.
yes, is that like we're almost there, but we're still kind of secondhand treated, and we're almost.
That's interesting.
And I just feel like those women are like, maybe at home they're not treated equal. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
like, why would you have that kind of anger?
Yeah, you might be right. My theory was always that they are simply the most entitled group in the country because they are white, they are waited on, they are maybe the husband works, brings home the money. They're just, it's just a sea of privilege that they're just living in. And
Wow.
it's just, you need to take care of me.
Yeah.
You need to, I am Karen and
Yeah.
I want my breadsticks warm. I want my margarita and I want my fucking line at the grocery store to be short.
Yes. Like my Bob.
And if you don't give me my fucking discount, I will raise hell in this place. Yeah. Where's your manager?
I mean, watching these Instagram videos, they're insane. And these are happening every single day.
yeah, it's funny when something becomes a trend because then you just get them all.
Yeah.
And like, it's everywhere.
It's the amount of people just in like Southern California. Karen is probably a hotbed for Southern California because the lifestyles are good for Karens.
Yeah.
So it's just insane. I feel like most of the videos are actually in
They
California.
are. I bet Amanda could go Karen hunting and catch a couple.
Easily.
Maybe
right?
go down to Orange County.
Orange County, Torrance, you're going to...
South Bay.
Yeah, South Bay is Karen's.
Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah, I think Karen's, home base is Southern California. They love the weather.
Yeah, that's true. That's fucked up, man. That makes me sad.
Yeah.
I thought we were better. Okay, well, that's what's going on. We want to do an ad real quick, Pete?
Sure.
All right, take it away. Great work, Pete. You're really getting better.
Thank you.
I've heard some good feedback lately, and I think you deserve it.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Let's talk about New York. Let's talk about more Karen type problems.
Okay.
Big problem where all of the wealthy people are leaving New York. Not safe. Let's get out of here. Why would we stay? We're rich. That is going to set up a problem for the fall when, number one, it's already kind of uncertain what's going to happen with school, but especially for these nice, fancy private schools.
Yeah.
Because now the whole families are gone. What are you going to do? You're just going to have a class size of 2 kids?
Yeah.
The 2 like medium rich kids that couldn't quite afford to get to the Hamptons?
Yeah.
2 broke boys that couldn't get to Nantucket?
I think it's an interesting problem that private schools in the, lower education, obviously like elementary, preschool, high school, middle school, that are going to face. So, it's specifically in Manhattan, you're seeing this exodus of people that don't want to live in Manhattan because the virus is clearly not under control yet. So they're going out to the suburbs, and many of them probably have second homes. Many of them rent, and their kids will have to go to school there. And all these top private schools are going to lose all these students. And, I've been thinking about that in LA as well. Because, just look at there is a small group of people, particularly in my run club, that in the last week, 3 people have told me they're leaving LA. And they're
Like
going.
now?
Some are going up, up north. Some are like Taylor. Obviously, went to Austin. Another friend is going somewhere else.
But it's over.
No, but it's. I think the gap of time, the last 3-4 months was, and if you're not like, I don't know, tied to this city because of family or whatever, people are leaving. And I think even in Manhattan, where people have family and have roots, they don't feel safe from the big city. So I think the first line of defense that's being affected are things like schools, colleges, elementary schools, because the spots are going to start opening up, and that'll be the first site that people have left. It'll be interesting to see what else is affected by this, because I think there's going to be a flight from big cities.
I agree. But do you think that it's more in your run club? Is it people running out of money, or
is that like a figure of speech, running?
Nice. Damn it! I wish I would have thought of that.
So ironically enough, the 3 people do very well.
So it's not.
So it's not a money thing.
It's just like, I don't.
Do you know
why
what
do
I
even
think?
need
You
to
know what I
live
think it is? It's kids or young people who last 60 to 90 days just got LA just isn't what it was.
Yeah.
And they see other states and other cities that are much cheaper and won't ever react the way LA did. So they don't want to potentially be
shut down,
punished the way.
But it feels like you're getting out of the stock market at the bottom. It feels like it's nothing but up from here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we had a rough few months. LA's still the best city in the freaking world.
I found a weakness in LA.
What's that?
When I was at the beach today, I realized why LA's not perfect.
Uh-oh.
We do not have warm beach waters.
That's true.
That is a big flaw.
That's a huge flaw. Because
I mean, if we had Miami waters, there'd be 500 million people here.
If you had Miami waters, yeah, man, those Miami waters.
Yeah, Florida water, and then everything else of LA.
All that racism heats it up, you know.
You walk
I mean,
into the
speaking of Miami, the handful of people I follow that are in nightlife in Miami's back. It's insane.
Nightclubs.
They're not at nightclubs, but at like the restaurants, they're turning into nightclubs. So they have
Miami can't help it.
They have the bottle service like signs at like Swan Miami or whatever, like all the hot restaurants. No masks. Everyone's popping bottles. It's all the people. I don't want to name these people because all these people.
What's our friend? What's the magnet doing?
Oh, Ishmael?
No, Ishmael's in like Mexico, I think.
Oh, he's
been posting from Mexico. Okay. I'm sure he's back now. The party's back. But Miami looks insane. Yeah. Like the restaurant looks like Live.
Yeah.
They can't help it. You can tell Miami not to party for 3 months? Bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
They'll turn the fucking gas station into Live. Okay, well, I don't know. We'll see. But I agree. I totally agree with that critique. That being said, LA is still the best city in the world. You still, I mean, what? Even if it's next summer, like, are these people just going to come back? Are you going to get FOMO seeing that LA is just on fire again?
I asked them all, do you ever see yourself coming back? And obviously Taylor said he totally wants to live in LA.
Will be back.
He definitely will be back. Others said, like, I'm going to try it for a year and see what happens.
What type of cities? Nashville type cities?
One's Santa Barbara. Obviously Taylor's Austin. The other one has to go to London for another reason. But like, it's just interesting to see that like these people who I know as like diehard LA people, they love this city, they loved everything about it, have chosen to take a break.
It's interesting because the rich Silicon Valley guys, they're all buying here.
Yeah, obviously, because anything's better than San Francisco.
Because San Francisco's in at the bottom. I think they're getting in at the bottom. I think all these people are getting out at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like the Silicon Valley guys, like I heard the kind of hierarchy. It's actually really funny. If you are a engineer that's made a lot of money, you're Venice, Silver Lake.
It's amazing.
If you're a founder that's actually cashed out, you're Malibu, Beverly Hills.
Yeah, that's like our post, Like maybe we need an updated map, where to go if you're Silicon Valley migrating. Yeah,
we should send them away from us.
Yeah.
Damn, home prices aren't going down.
No, not in LA.
All right, well, we'll see. How about NBA? So NBA's like back.
Yeah,
everyone's so excited. July 31. Everyone's so pumped. Now, there's this new thing happening where because of all the protests and all of this stuff going on, players are saying, let's cancel.
Yeah.
Let's not open back up. We need to focus on what matters. I saw George Floyd's brother said that. Kyrie Irving's been very outspoken. What's going on? I mean,
So Austin,
no chance we're not doing this.
No,
right?
so
Yeah.
here. I mean, I have pretty strong opinions about this. So
Okay.
Kyrie Irving was the most famous and most vocal athlete that's leading this charge. I'm sure there's others that potentially believe in what he's saying. Here's Kyrie Irving's problem. He's been this kind of emotional, I don't want to say train wreck, but he's been emotionally unstable from a fan and perspective. I'm saying this wrong, but he's just been kind of out of touch with what's going on.
On Short Story Long, he essentially said he wanted to live in Chaz.
yeah.
He wanted
Got
a
it.
self-sustaining community.
Yeah. So he came out and was very strong.
big
Like
jazz guy.
we can't play while this is going on. Fine, fair statement. You don't have to play, but to tell everyone else not to play is also not right.
Yeah.
So
So it's mainly him. It's not this guy.
he's the most famous of the athletes that's doing it.
But it obviously picks up steam because it's different than what everyone else thinks. And the reality is, so Austin Rivers actually, Doc Rivers' son, who's plays in the NBA, actually had a really good post about it saying, I understand what his point is and I respect his decision. But if you really think about it, NBA is a black sport with a large black fan base. If anything, we're going to be able to bring more attention to it.
Yeah.
And so I think most people do agree with that. Like, I think the NBA coming on board at a time like this, where it's a league where they encourage true free speech by their players, and the players do really dictate that league. I think it's amazing because you're going to see all these like incredible moments that are going to highlight this, and they're going to make it so aware. I'm like, oh, you're a Laker fan, then you have to say Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
So it's like these are things that are going to, I think, actually going to push. Whether people like it or not, athletes are very influential. We talked about it in the last pod with Jarek. Like NFL matters, NBA matters. Like they have influence over a lot of regular people.
Yeah.
That need to be influenced.
And do you know when you don't matter is when you don't have a voice.
Yeah, that's what was my thought when I saw this was like, the answer here isn't to stop doing everything.
Yeah.
The answer is to tie this message into everything we do and show how much black culture matters.
Yeah, because Kyrie could be a very smart guy, very thoughtful guy. People care about Kyrie Irving because he's a basketball player,
Yeah.
not because he's a philosopher.
yeah.
So you're telling him to shut up and dribble then?
No, I'm saying dribble and talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
literally the opposite.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like talk up and dribble.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest mistakes that I think a lot of people with a platform make is they stop doing the thing that everyone's paying attention to try to focus on the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It reminds me of like when athletes quit to become rappers or something. It's like you can't do, like you got to keep doing the thing that everyone loves. And if you want to do this on the side, cool, maybe you can blend it in, but don't stop. Don't shut up and then just go try to be an activist. No one's going to be there to listen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. We never got to the bottom of the flat Earth thing. Huh? Like, was that real or?
I mean,
think
for
he said
him
it,
or
right?
He believed
for
No, I think we're
Humanity.
clear. I think we're clear, but that was a real thing. That
I mean, I think SpaceX has clearly solved it,
Yeah,
right? There's
yeah.
imaging of the Earth. Looks pretty round.
kind of saw it like a week ago. Okay. All right, just curious. Okay, next up, bad news. I mean, terrible news for NFL and especially soccer. Because someone's really speaking out against them and really just saying they're not going to watch it. Maybe you shouldn't either. Especially soccer. I'm guessing this will be a huge blow.
huge blow to soccer.
Donald J. Trump has vowed to stop watching football and soccer after they said that they would allow players to kneel. Once again, the only person doing it worse when it comes to which side of the argument to be on than Starbucks. Donald Trump continues to just miss the mark.
Yeah.
Like I mean, dude, I can't believe nobody in that fucking office that you trust, if there is anyone, isn't saying, hey man, maybe we need to integrate a little bit of
Compassion.
Just a one little drop of compassion.
I
into this
feel like
campaign.
someone says it and he doubles down the other way.
But
Like
the
like an
NFL
aide says, "Hey man, you should probably tighten it up," and he goes, "You know what? Here's a tweet."
He's always been so smart at not going against the things you don't go against. How is he not seeing I shouldn't go against the NFL in America?
Yeah, even his 35% unwavering base watches the NFL.
They do, man.
Everybody watches.
And they're not giving it up, no matter what Donnie Boy says.
Yeah, I don't think
Don wasn't watching it anyway, man.
No, he definitely
He was
wasn't.
watching fucking Fox and seeing what they're saying about him. He doesn't care. Maybe just go with soccer. Just be like, yo, you know what? Fuck soccer.
Yeah.
I don't like the way they treated this whole thing. Don't talk about the NFL.
Yeah,
what are
yeah.
you doing?
You know, there's actually a story that he got blocked from buying the Buffalo Bills
Really?
back in the day.
Yeah.
And the NFL owners are just like, I've seen commentators say, like, man, we should just given him the Bills.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have him as president.
Yeah, that's true.
because he would have just had.
Yeah, he would have just been this like, NFL.
Imagine how weird it is for like those rich people that probably thought Trump was like a joke.
Yeah.
And now he's like the president. You know, like, that has to be a weird thing. Like, I'm trying to think of a person whose name I wouldn't even say on this podcast. But picture said person that you think is kind of a clown, but like is in the business world technically.
Yeah.
You shake his hand when you see him at Delilah, but like you don't take him serious. And now he's president.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck. Okay, next up, we got to talk real quickly about TikTok financial advisors. They're getting a lot of steam. You know, a lot of, like, we talked about them early.
Yeah.
Now they're all in the news. I will say the update that I saw the last week is when the market crashed, there was already videos of people who thought they were smarter TikTok financial advisors making fun of the dumber TikTok financial advisors.
Saying that I was shorting the whole thing the whole time.
Yep. And saying these guys, are going to be broke. Like here, here's a scene of the TikTok financial advisor in November, and like they're homeless, and and because they're the smarter ones. So yeah.
Oh my God, this Robinhood TikTok. Here's where I think the opportunity is. The positive of all this is that there's an enormous interest by young people in the financial markets. I actually think that's good. I think the key to it is educating all these young people properly. So if they're actually interested in the stock market, then there is an opportunity for some entity, whether it be a college institution, a learning institution, a publisher, to actually put out content the way young people want to learn it. Like history probably needs to be taught in TikTok. Finance needs to be taught in TikTok because these kids are learning something. Whether it's the information.
It's like Grant Cardone.
No, so
Yes.
I actually
That's what I think it is.
Robinhood is at early enough stage that it cannot become Facebook if they don't get greedy.
Yeah.
The initial purpose of Facebook was to connect the world, right? Great mission, and they did it. But then they got greedy, and the world is in a much worse place because of Facebook.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah.
We all agree, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And Robinhood, similarly, is at a point. They empower the average person to have access to financial markets. Great mission.
Yep.
It's too easy to trade
Yeah.
without any warning or any kind of risk.
And it's fun. It
explain.
looks fun. It doesn't look risky.
No.
It looks like a game.
Oh, it's going up. It's going down.
click, click.
Down.
So I
Margin
think
called. Not sure what it is.
I think they're at a fork in the road where Robinhood could easily either become Facebook and just become a multi-$100 billion company, which that's probably what they're going to become,
Yeah.
rather than
it's hard to-
actually educate society and like becoming empowered financial.
I mean, think about if Robinhood created a platform, even if it was like they just use YouTube and Instagram and pre-existing platforms and educated young people.
Yeah.
It would be so incredible. And you would create customers by doing that. But like imagine if you follow Robinhood and they tell you, it's almost like Cheddar.
Yeah.
But Robinhood has their own version. And like,
They do
so
that with their podcast and their newsletter, but it's not on TikTok. It's not on Instagram.
It's boring. No one cares.
No one cares.
And it's not on the actual transaction where it's so easy to put your money at risk.
Yeah.
That's really the...
Yeah, well,
I mean, once your bank account is connected and you press buy, that money's gone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like I think pretty soon it's like telling a casino they need to educate the consumer on
gambling
risk.
And this
Like
is
they're going to become a casino.
this is where regulation can actually,
Yeah.
actually help. Because Robinhood's selling your information to high frequency traders.
I
That's
mean-
what the average trader doesn't get. That's how they make their money.
Yeah.
They sell
I
order
just-
flow.
I feel like if you really looked at it in the last month, the similarities between Robinhood and like online poker, it's very similar.
Yeah.
Similar customer,
Yeah.
similar strategy.
So what do you
It's like
think?
an online betting site.
Zero regulation. It's become bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I mean, if I could invest in Robinhood, I would. I mean,
Because you're under
We
the
did.
financial.
We invested
I
in
know, but
Robinhood.
we're out, right?
You're under the like financial umbrella where regulation is. You know, like they're gonna.
They're incentivized by scamming the average person.
Yes.
Yeah, and all the people that make money off of them know how to skirt the laws. It's in all of their best interest to let Robinhood get away with this.
Yeah.
There's no way. Who
Because
who's
that means Charles Schwab is going to get regulated. And E-Trade's
Yeah,
gonna get
because
regulated.
Yeah.
this is when Pete asked, what do I mean by institutions always win? Do you know how institutions always win? They're selling your data
Yeah.
to institutions that are front running your trades.
Let's explain that in a more layman's term. Robinhood got busted last year, and it was exposed that they were selling data.
It wasn't even busted. That's everyone who's knew the business that knew this is why you can trade for free on Robinhood.
And they were
But nothing happened, right?
Yeah, nothing
No, it's
happened.
legal.
Just
legal.
articles. But when you say busted, there was
Yeah.
just articles.
Yeah, I don't think the average Robinhood user knew that was going on. So this came out that Robinhood was selling all their trades of their users to institutions. When you know what average Joe is doing, you can take advantage of that.
Yeah, because retail, I mean, Robinhood now represents a non-insignificant portion of the market.
Yeah,
So
it's
if you know every retail trader is buying Tesla and you know that information 2 seconds before,
Yeah.
you can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's what high frequency trading is. It's fractions of seconds.
Yeah.
Knowing that information can be very lucrative, which is how it's the exact antithesis of the name of the company, Robinhood. You're stealing from the poor and giving it to the rich.
Yeah, you are.
And-
but what a great name, because they're like, look, I'm going to get rich off this.
And if
Look
you
at the
really,
name.
and I'll tell you, it's really interesting what the top stocks are on Robinhood. I think a lot of it has to do with Davy Day Trader. So number one is Ford, number two is GE. So those are
Sure.
probably held by most institutions in the world. American Airlines.
That's
Okay,
Davey.
that's Davy
What
Day
up,
Trader.
is Boeing on there?
Okay, Disney, Delta Airlines, Carnival, GoPro, they probably know what that is, Microsoft, Aurora Cannabis, Apple, Norwegian Cruise Lines, United Airline, then Boeing.
That's Davey.
Yeah, that's Davy.
That's
It's
Davy.
airlines, cruises, and Boeing.
Yeah.
What's Aurora? Why is that like the hottest weed stock for?
It's just
Do they
because
have anything we know? Do they have like Ignite or anything?
I don't know what brands they have, but
I wonder, because that's always been a big one.
yeah, that's always popular with kids. Well, it's cannabis. There's not that many publicly traded cannabis companies. It has low volume. You can easily manipulate the stock. It barely has any volume on it.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Okay, last up, retail. So, like I said, I went to the mall this weekend. Only half the stores were open. Malls are already dead, but now it's super dead. I mean, I think that a lot of the economy will sort of boom back. But do you think retail, does retail do the same? What happens with retail?
So they're expecting the number of retailers to close their doors over the next 5 years to really pick up. So there's a UBS report that said 100,000 retail stores to be shuttered in the next 5 years.
And so do you think that this just sped up what was already coming?
Yeah, that's all that happened. I mean, it's so like, for example, 50% of mall-based department store anchors will close by 2021. 50% of anchors. So look at this. So there's 1,000 existing malls. 60% of the nation's 1,000 existing malls, which count. JCPenney is 20% of mall anchor space. They filed for bankruptcy. Macy is 18%. Nordstrom, Dillard, and Lord & Taylor combined for another 20%. So these anchor stores, which are these huge 100,000+ square foot spaces, are essentially gone in most malls.
And the chain reaction of that has to be massive. And also just the way the perception, like if you walked into every mall and you don't have those big anchor stores, the whole mall looks out of business.
Yeah, I still don't understand. But there's a line of private equity people still looking to buy retailers.
But do they do their little trickery on that? What's the strategy on
Yeah,
that?
they'll do some trickery.
Yeah.
Sorcery.
Because that's probably still a strategy for the next couple of years, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you
have real estate,
if you own the real estate, you load it up with debt.
Yeah.
Use other people's money.
Yeah.
You're fine.
And the thing about it, most private equity people aren't very digitally savvy. It's a lot easier to just keep buying shitty retailers and just...
Because at this point, for all these retailers, all you have to do is buy the debt to own the business because they're all effectively bankrupt.
Yeah.
So buying the debt on a business is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And the idea is that if they come back at 30% capacity, they still win.
Yeah.
From an investment perspective.
Yeah.
And retail is going to be back in some form. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be at what we thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, JCPenney should be crazy at Black Friday, like it always is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Kohl's is good for Amazon returns.
They should all just become a place for Amazon returns.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's all we got. We don't have a millennial word, obviously, right? Our guy moved.
Yeah, our millennial left town.
Our millennial millennial word of the week is Austin.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Taylor?
Yeah. One of the things I talked about on Behind Closed Doors is Taylor is out here searching for some sort of, I don't know.
He's lost.
Yeah.
He's
like,
just your token millennial.
Yeah.
He
You know, like
literally-
you're like,
He just adopted a kitty in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I saw that.
Amanda
lost
showed me
it.
that story.
on the
It's-
drive.
Yeah.
Yes, they pulled over at this gas station and there's dozens of these cats. And they ended up picking up the smallest one and taking it with them.
For sale.
And now they're housing it.
For sale at a gas station.
No,
No, there's
no,
two
they're
different-
like
Picked
wild
up
kitties.
A wild
The
cat.
Wildcat.
He lost it.
He's lost
Yeah,
it completely.
And they're like feeding the cat milk and
He got pulled
motel.
over because he was trying to floor it to a gas station get food for this thing.
So are they now in? Have they arrived in Austin?
Yeah.
So
Looks
not,
like
not only he's got a girlfriend, but now he's got a kid.
A homeless fucking cat, so now he's Airbnb-ing in Austin and just trying out a different city
with a cat.
yeah.
With a cat now. I mean, we're going to
Cat
go into
found
it
at the
on
gas
Behind Closed
station.
Doors, so we'll get more information, but like,
I mean,
He's
that
lost it.
cat,
He's lost
God
it.
knows where that cat's been.
literally. And they're just letting it sleep and
You know what's
crawl
funny is
over them.
Taylor's going through this transformation that billionaires go through when they don't have to deal with normal life because everything's solved already because they're so freaking rich and they start
That's
doing weird
Taylor.
things.
But you can
And
do that
Taylor's
now.
doing that in,
Like I feel like in this
microwave.
day and age, at Taylor's level of success, let me just say this for the listener. I don't know Taylor's income, but it's good enough that you can live this like mini billionaire life.
Yeah.
Like you can Airbnb, you can,
Travel,
it's
do
not
whatever.
cheap,
Yeah.
but you can find yourself for 5 years.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna go. It's just a couple grand a month. We get all this room. I'm just gonna go.
This is my question. Similar to how the U.S. handled Corona, I want to know all these millennials that are doing this because it is one of the big. It's a lot of the advice you hear from like these podcasters and stuff is go fuck around in your 20s, figure it out. You have time. Like long term, was that a smart move?
Well, we have to keep an eye on Taylor.
Honestly,
I guess
mentally,
Taylor
I don't
did too.
think so.
But also, like, do you
Because
end up
you're getting into bad habits, in my opinion.
and do you end up being like 35 and like trying to get resettled in LA? You don't have like this stable like relationships. I don't know. Like, do you end up?
Or there's people that just have this like fuller experience in their 20s and 30s and like they come back and they have nothing. They're happy to be at home and they're happy to be settled. And I don't know. Well,
Yeah,
If you're on
I'm
this
curious.
endless search of something and it starts in your mid-20s, it's probably not going to look much different in your mid-30s.
Or maybe I'm wrong and they find it.
But what are they finding? Because from what I gather is once you find it, it's the next thing.
I mean, he said to us out loud right before he left, I want to go try out all the other cities before I realize I want to live in LA. He said that before he left.
So he already knew his mission.
Yeah. I don't know.
But then once he gets back to LA, he wants to explore Bali and
You're right.
France, and then it's never ending.
I'm curious because I do think even Taylor obviously is very like, he can do a lot. But even these younger people or people that aren't as successful as him are still like, I think, Airbnb-ing or trying new cities. Or there's this thing of like, go float around, go try. Like no need to anchor down. But I don't know.
But I think if
I
you
did it
do
the
it in the context of just wanting to have fun, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you do it in the context of adopting
for something.
kitties at a gas station,
maybe that's fun. for
Some
him.
people's fun, man. You got to rush to get milk.
I mean, it looks good. It looked good on his gram. I'll tell you that much. I went to the next story. I was like, this idiot adopted a cat. And then I was like, let's see what happens to the cat.
Like,
Now I
I
want to see
think
how
some
long it
other
lives.
folks in his crew are doing it right. They're just fucking partying and going from city to city.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Well, we'll see. The good thing is we get to have a live update on how it's going.
Yeah.
He always keeps it real, so he'll come back and tell us what he thinks.
Yeah.
And he listens, so I'm sure he's gonna have thoughts on what I just said.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so that's it. Make sure you check out our website, newsletter, melrosestreetjournal.com. You'll get everything you need to know at all times. If you just can't quite get enough 3 days a week for an hour and a fucking half now, then that's where you go. Yeah. And Group Chat Pod is our Instagram. Make sure you look out for Behind Closed Doors on IGTV, as well as YouTube. Also, the full episodes are on YouTube. So if you want to see our pretty faces instead of just listening, check us out. That's all I got, right?
That's all I got.
We got fucking content out the ass over here. So if you need any more, it's your problem. We'll see you guys on Hump Day.
Hump Day.
Bye-bye.